All right, so we're diving deep today into Solace of Love. And this one, it just grabs you right away, you know?
Yeah, it's got that energy, that upbeat, almost like defiant kind of feel.
But then it's not just like surface level happy, right? You've got all this imagery woven in, fire, sunrise, waves, like serious stuff.
And that's the brilliance of it. Those images, they're not random. They're taking the listener on a journey emotionally.
Okay, so how does it do that? Like right from the start, it hits us with that line, "The world's asleep, but my heart's a leaping flame." It's like, bam, you're awake now.
Exactly. And that leaping flame, that's key. Fire, throughout the song, it's representing this intense inner energy. And love is the fuel.
So it's not just like, oh, I've got a crush. It's more like something deeper is waking up inside the person.
You got it. And that idea, it just gets hammered home in the chorus. Solace of love, oh, it sets me free. I mean, most love songs talk about freedom. But this one, it's different.
Yeah, because it's not like breaking free from a bad relationship or whatever. It feels bigger.
Way bigger. Solace of Love is playing with two kinds of freedom at once. So you've got that external freedom, maybe from past pain, from outside pressures, but then it's also internal, like breaking free from your own self-doubt, your own limits.
And for someone listening, I mean, that could be huge.
Right. Especially if they're going through something tough themselves. Like the song sets up this contrast. You've got the outside world, all turbulent and unpredictable, and then you have this refuge the person finds in love.
It's not just escaping into romance, it's like finding a source of strength almost.
Exactly, and that ties into the whole energy of the song. It's upbeat, yeah, but there's this undercurrent of resilience, like defying the darkness.
And it's interesting how it does that structurally too, right? Like the verses, they go back and forth between describing the person's inner world and then the outer world, almost like waves crashing, but there's a steady shore.
And that's so cool because then waves also become the way they describe love itself. That line, love, a cleansing wave washing over me.
Oh yeah, that was powerful.
It is. And by using the same image for both, it's like they're making a connection. Waves can be destructive, right? But they also cleanse and renew. Love can be like that too.
So it's not pretending love is always easy, but it's still this essential force for growth, for healing.
You got it. It's not just about finding a partner. It's about finding a deeper wholeness within yourself.
And in the source material, they talk about how the person before love, it was like they were lost at sea. Metaphorically, of course.
Yes. And that's where that sunrise imagery comes in. Remember? Love dawned like a golden sunrise, banishing the shadows of the night.
Oh, wow, yeah. Beautiful.
Right. And it's no accident that it comes where it does in the song. It's the turning point.
No.
The person going from darkness to light because of love. But it's not gradual. It's like boom.
Like this sudden burst of energy that changes everything.
Precisely. And that's why the song feels so uplifting, so hopeful. It's not just solace. It's a total shift in perspective.
Like love is a catalyst for this, like whole person awakening.
And that's just the start. There's even deeper layers to unpack.
Okay, let's get to those deeper layers then.
So one of the things that really brings this whole awakening to life is that river metaphor. The source talks about it flowing with strength and depth, carrying the lovers along.
Yeah, that's one that stuck with me too. Really paints a picture.
Right. And it's smart because it's not the typical love is static thing, you know. This river, it's always moving, always changing, deepening.
Which makes me think about like anyone listening who's been in love. It's like a reminder that it's not about reaching some perfect endpoint, it's the journey together.
Exactly. And like a river, you know, love can be gentle, but it can also be fierce, nurturing, but also challenging.
Oh, that's good. And it ties back to that cleansing wave idea, right? Like washing away negativity, but maybe also illusions, those ideas we have about what love should be.
Yes, and that's where the song gets really honest. It doesn't shy away from the hard parts. Remember that line from the bridge? Even in the depths of love's embrace, shadows linger, sorrow finds its space.
Whoa, yeah, that one gets me every time.
It's raw, right? And it comes right where it needs to kind of shake the listener up a bit. Like, hey, love isn't always sunshine and roses.
But even in those darker moments, the song never loses that hope. It's like clinging to love as this lifeline, strength in the face of, well, whatever life throws at you.
And that's where its take on resilience is so unique. It's not just about enduring hardship. It's like using love's power to transform it, turn those challenges into growth.
Which goes back to the whole quest idea from the source, right? It wasn't just finding love, it was finding a soulmate.
Right. And a quest, that means there's going to be obstacles. It's not handed to you. You got to work for it, be patient, overcome stuff.
So for the listener, it's like a heads up. Finding that solace of love, it might not be easy. You gotta face your own shadows, fears, maybe take some risks.
Absolutely. And that's what makes the song so empowering. It's not just a fantasy. It's like a call to action, saying, yeah, love can be messy, but it's worth fighting for, worth the journey.
And sometimes that fight's not even with someone else.
Right.
It's internal.
Exactly. Like when the song talks about love, banishing shadows and sorrow, it's not just about finding a partner. It's about facing that darkness within yourself.
Which, for whoever's listening, that could be anything, right? Past hurts, self-doubt, those things that hold us back from real love.
That's a great point. Solace of love isn't just about romantic love. It's about that deeper human need for wholeness, for healing, for connection.
And that brings us to this whole timelessness theme. The source mentions how the song wants to capture those moments where time just stops. You're lost in that embrace.
It's a classic theme, really. That yearning to transcend time. And Solace of Love, it does it through those vivid images, that powerful language.
Like where it talks about hearts racing, souls intertwining, the world fading away.
Yes. It's like stepping into this heightened reality, a dream where the normal rules don't apply anymore.
The song's inviting the listener to feel that too, right? To remember those times in their own lives when time just stopped.
Exactly. And that's what makes this song so much more than just, a love song. It's about the human experience, saying, even in a world that's always rushing, there are still those moments of pure, timeless connection.
Okay, so we've talked about love as a journey, a battle, a source of strength, a gateway to timelessness. But there's one more piece of solace of love I want to get to before we wrap up. Well, we've talked about all these big images, fire, waves, rivers. But the song also keeps coming back to this idea of love as a haven, a safe place.
Right, and that's a big part of why it hits us so hard emotionally. It's that contrast, The world outside is crazy, but inside love, there's peace.
Yeah, like love's the shield protecting you from the storm.
Exactly, and I think for people listening today, that image of a haven, it means a lot. Like the world feels so uncertain, so overwhelming sometimes. The idea of finding safety in a relationship, that's powerful.
Especially if you're feeling lost, like the person in the song before they found love.
Totally. It's like the song's offering hope, saying, hey, even when things are tough, you can still find that safe harbor, that place to anchor yourself.
And that safe harbor, it's not just about finding another person, right? It's about finding that peace inside yourself, too.
Absolutely. It's about that self-love, that self-acceptance, the things that let you handle life's challenges, with grace.
Which brings us back to the whole point of the song, Solace of Love. But it's interesting how they define solace. It's not just being comfy and happy. It's deeper.
Yeah, and that's where you see how much depth this song has. It gets that real solace isn't about avoiding hard stuff. It's about having the strength to face it, knowing love's got your back.
So it's about finding that inner strength, that sense of purpose, the stuff that lets you go through tough times and come out stronger.
You got it. And that message, it goes beyond just romantic love. It's about that basic human need to connect, to belong, to be seen and understood. That's how we thrive, even when things are hard.
It's like, in this song, love is what makes you powerful. It's the key to being your best self.
And that's a powerful note to end on, I think. Solace of Love, it's not just a catchy song. It's like a challenge to us to embrace love's power in all its forms.
Well said. So as we wrap up our deep dive into Solace of Love, think about what really hit home for you. Was it the images, the idea of a haven, that message of resilience? Whatever it was, hold on to that feeling. Let it guide you on your own journey. And until next time, keep diving deep.